Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a quick chat. Okay, another one. Real quick, I want to talk about love and hip hop, and primarily we got to talk about Miss Erica Mena, honey, because she ended up doing the interview with Carlos King. Of course, he ended up dropping part 2. So there are some things I want to get into regarding her interview. I do want to talk about things that she said regarding one of her co-stars, which is or former co-stars, because at this time Miss Erica is not a part of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. But I want to get into what she had to say about Sierra and Sierra speaking on Safari being interested in her in that type of way where he wanted a relationship. Like, we'll get into that. And I also want to get into her part of the interview with Carlos where she talks about her racial comment towards Spice, okay? Her racial slur towards Spice. I want to get into that in the crocodile tears that we will see. But first up, I think I want to touch on Sierra first, okay? So with touching on Sierra, let me go ahead and share my screen. I want to kind of go back because you guys know that Sierra and Bambi were good friends at some point. I'm sorry, not Bambi, but Sierra, Bambi, and Erica, all three were good friends at some point. And if you guys have watched Love and Hip Hop, then you've seen there was a particular scene where the ladies were sitting around with Bambi, and what we learned was that Safari tried to talk to Sierra, and we learned that from Erica's mouth. So it seems like it was a conversation that Sierra had with Erica that was never supposed to make its way on camera. And she was kind of caught off guard by that. Now, the ladies were really close so much during the season that we could see Sierra trying to fight the battles of her friends and get all in their business when it comes to their relationships, okay? And it's just so ironic that now she's on the outs. She's no longer friends with the ladies. She's no longer interested in being friends with them. And it appears that Erica may feel the same way about her. But I'm going to do a quick flashback. We're going to get into some of the things that Sierra had to say originally. And then we'll fast forward to present day when Erica has to sit down with Carlos and what she has to say about Sierra. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get that up on the screen for us to check out. Okay, I'm going to refresh it just so we can kind of hear what's being said. All right.
It's crazy how, for one, I'm a black girl and everybody said I was lying. The proof right there in the pudding. But we filming about this on Love and Hip Hop. Y'all was gonna see it eventually. But everybody was like, "Oh, Sierra lying, she lying." One thing about it, baby, I've made money my whole since for the last 6 years. I struck on my ass off. Me and this little girl. We was broke. We was homeless. If I don't have nothing else, I have dignity, pride, and respect. And I'm a real friend. I'm a real friend. Secondly, when it happened, I called Bambi and my husband at the time, Eric. And it did hurt my friendship. We're all not friends no more, and I don't want to be back their friend. And I'm good. I'm done. And I love them girls like real blood sisters.
So it seemed like the Safari situation
that could have been my biggest
friendship.
mistake. But I called my husband. And told him what happened. You want to know why I didn't tell Eric? It's crazy how, because I watched my friend and nurtured my friend at the time back to life when all that stuff was going on with Safari. Erica almost lost her mind when he was doing all that stuff to her. We watched her go from being almost 150 some pounds to 120 something pounds, and y'all did too, because he drug her. Safari really drug her. So it bothered me. That shit mentally messed me up, because every day I was going back and forth in my head like, I don't want to hurt her. I know she loved this man. I don't want to hurt her. So I didn't want to hurt her. So I was going back and forth, but I knew I told one of my best friends, which is Bambi, and I told my husband at the time. So that gave me some type of peace. But because I'm so much of a real bitch, excuse my language, because I'm on my healing journey and I don't supposed to be talking like this. But because I'm so much of a real girl, I could not hold it no more. Erica called me and I said, I got something to tell you. Promise me you're not going to hate me, and promise me you're not going to stop being my friend. Those are the words that I told her.
You could tell she hurt.
She was like, I promise. We ain't friends no more. I said, promise me you're not going to hate me, and promise me you're not going to stop being my friends. because whether Safari was doing it, y'all know I'm a crybaby because I'm sensitive about my shit and I'm a passionate person. But I'm not about to cry because I've been doing good. I've been going to my counseling sessions and I've been a lot better. But she was like, no, I promise us, I love you. I know you're not gonna, I'm not gonna stop being your friend.
You believe Erica?
And I was like, and promise we could never film about this shit on Love and Hip Hop. I told Erica what happened. Whether, and I don't supposed to be talking like this. Safari was playing with me or not, he was out of line. He shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have called me. He shouldn't have told me that stuff. He shouldn't have been saying he want to be with me. He shouldn't have done none of that. He was out of line when he did that. And I can remember it like yesterday. When I told Erica, she called Eric screaming to the top of her lungs, crying. Like, bro, tell me it's not true. Tell me it's not true. But you know one thing I didn't do? I didn't throw Bambi under the bus and tell Erica that Bambi knew, because I knew Erica was going to be mad at Bambi if she knew all this time. So I told Erica the only person that knew was Eric, when it realistically the people that I told first was Bambi and Erica. I mean Bambi and
I think Bambi told her not to say that.
So when it all came out, me and Erica was crying. She was hurt. She was distraught. I was hurt. You know, all them days I was living with not telling her that telling her that shit was tearing me into pieces as a friend. But I knew I told Baby. I knew I told Eric. So it still didn't make me feel good. It still didn't make me feel good. It's just so fucked up. It's so fucked up that all this stuff happened and then nobody stood up for me. Everybody know how hard I go for my brand. I don't hang with other celebrities. I don't ask people for shout outs. I have helped thousands of girls make thousands of dollars, made 100 millionaires. And it's so crazy how the enemy be working against people. But as my friends, how hard I've been going for them on Love and Hip Hop, about to fight they niggas, they mistresses and all that. You would think that they would stand up for me and say one thing and not let the world think that I was really trying to fuck this clown. Erica and Bambi, we're not friends anymore. Just so the world would know. We're not friends anymore. And it's so fucked up because I love them. Telling her that shit was tearing me into pieces. I love them bad. I don't open up to people. I got the same best friend since the 4th grade. I got the same friends, Tanky, Dara, since I was younger. They've been my friends for 20 years. And guess what my friends be saying? I don't fuck with them TV bitches. They some real hood bitches from the West Side. And they be like, they don't fuck with these TV bitches. And I be like, nah, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. No, don't do that. And I usually be standoffish and I be like having my antennas up with friends. But with these girls, I really felt like I would give them my blood if I could.
Not get them your blood, Sierra. Not get them your blood. You really hurt.
But that money ain't gonna stop money.
Not get them your blood, ma'am.
As I'm saying this, I'm saying, let me go through my healing journey. Stop. I don't want no Safari. I was not lying. I showed y'all I love them. I was not lying. I showed y'all the text. I showed y'all everything. One thing about it, I've been married my whole life. I got respect. I don't even put on tight clothes around people, men. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't even put on tight clothes around people, men. I was not lying. I showed y'all the text.
Sierra called me one day and she was
right. So y'all just pretty much heard what the situation was when it came to Sierra and Safari and the fallout of the friendship all over the Safari situation. Erica annoys the dog fuck out of me when it comes to Safari. You don't want the man, but you're in love with the man and you're crying all over the place and worried about who he and what he doing. And it's like, girl, you divorced the man, let it the hell go. America is tired. I hope that you're finally at this place over him. But the fact that you would sever ties with your friend, in my opinion, makes me feel like you're not completely over him. And chances of you continuing to fuck on your baby daddy is continuing to happen, even though you decided to divorce him. All right. Now, when it comes down to the friendship between she and Sierra, of course, they're not friends no more. And I just want to say this, baby, you're next. You're next, okay? It's just what it is. I feel like a lot of times that we've seen Erica on this show, she's lost damn near every person. Like all her friends today, I don't believe are the friends that she had then, in my opinion. And when you get a person like that that ain't can't keep no friends, bitch, you're next. Okay. And it's so funny because I had somebody tell me that with one of my previous friends, and they was like, you next. And I was like, girl, what are you talking about? Girl, a year later, that motherfucker was right. Hello, which was crazy. All right. Even though they made up with her and they still friends, but good luck. That's just crazy though, but I do believe that, like, girl, if you see the writings on the wall, understand that there's gonna be one for you too. All right. But I want to go ahead and get into what Erica had to say when it came down to the situation regarding Sierra and her and the friendship that they no longer have. So let's check that out real quick.
Yeah.
Have you heard from Bambi and Sierra?
I will never hear from Sierra again because I personally made sure of that. But Bambi I speak to all the time. That's like my real friend.
And Sierra because of the Safari situation?
I mean, Sierra just because she's weird.
Okay.
She, you can't claim you're my friend and go out the way you did. Because you literally took 20 days just to tell me that my ex-husband was trying to get at you.
Have you heard from Bambi and Sierra?
I will never hear from Sierra.
I will never hear from
because
Sierra.
I personally made sure of that. But Bambi I speak
So basically she blocked her. This is what I'm getting. That's why they don't talk.
to all the time. That's like my real friend.
And Sierra because of the Safari situation?
I mean, Sierra just because she's weird.
Okay.
She, you can't claim you're my friend and go out the way you did. Because you literally took 20 days just to tell me that my ex-husband was trying to get at you. And I honestly, now that I know her from the upfront and then I was able to pull myself out and look at her from the outside, I really think she contemplated.
But I feel like she waited 20 days. But I don't know. I just feel like she told you. I just don't see Sierra being interested in any capacity in damn Safari. But I feel like she told you directly. You didn't hear it by way of somebody else. Your friend came to you and told you what the hell was going on.
That's why, which is why she didn't tell me right off rip.
So Erica has a warped ass mind, in my opinion, because she's over here saying she feel like the girl never told her because she was contemplating, meaning that she was thinking about really going there with Safari, and that's why. And it's really, I don't know, that's just like sad that you can't think of any other reason. Consider the possibility that the reason she didn't tell you was because she really did not want to hurt you. I feel like what Sierra said was true. She didn't want to hurt your clown ass. High key. All right, that's what it was. I don't think you should know your friend better than that. And you also should know your nigga. All right, you also should know Safari and the type of man that he is. So you think that low, like that would hurt my feelings as a friend. Yeah, I may have held this because I was thinking about you. I was trying to take your feelings into consideration. I didn't know how to tell this to you when you just got over being broken down about this NIGGA. So I'm trying to consider your feelings, but that would make me feel a way that I'm thinking about you, but you think so less of me that you really think I was contemplating on bouncing on your nigga dick. Are you stupid? Do you see how messy that is? You got to know I'm a piece of messy, but I'm not that damn messy, girl. Like, come on.
Because if you're really my friend and my ex-husband tries to get at you, are you not going to pick up the fucking call the same moment it happens? Like, yo, get your baby daddy. So yeah, I feel like 20 days to tell me you definitely.
I think that is true. I think she has a point with that. I think that is the case for some people. They probably are gonna be like, girl, why your baby daddy in my DMs trying to holler at me? That's what they'll say. But then if people know how you are and how hypersensitive you are about him, for me, I just feel like Sierra was thinking about your well-being and how it was going to send you down a spiral. You know what I'm saying? And she likely, from what I'm believing, was advised by the people that she confided in to not tell you anything. They probably was like, don't even mention it. Don't say nothing about it. Let it go. Let it be what it is. Whatever. That's probably what also contributed to her not telling you. And then she couldn't keep it in no more. And she was like, nah, I got to tell my friend, like, that ain't cool. Let me let her know.
Definitely has some other motives. And then her going on live to tell the world we weren't friends anymore and give her side of the story is just like, you're like that. Her live legitimized to me she's guilty. Like she needed to say her side of the story to get approval from the world. When we all know you don't have to do that. Like reality TV, if
girl, bye.
And you weren't blindsided. That whole conversation, you weren't blindsided. Clearly not, because Bambi knew, and I didn't even know Bambi knew.
I feel like I just agree with Sierra. I feel like Sierra about more trustworthy than Erica. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Y'all might feel differently about this.
Mona Scott Young made a comment in her Insta story saying handled. Mm-hmm. And then went on a radio show to say she has nothing to do with the show. She wasn't talking about handling you. She was more speaking about, what the network did. How did you feel when you saw that? Because once again, I'm now learning you didn't know you were suspended until you saw it on Instagram.
I don't care about her being suspended, and I don't give a damn when she found out. I primarily wanted to highlight the fact that she's not cool with Sierra because she feels like Sierra withheld information because she was contemplating on fucking her baby daddy. Grow up, Erica. And Sierra, I just really feel like this is good for you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes friendships come to an end and it hurts how it may come to an end, but it's probably for your own, betterment and protection at the end of the day. So if y'all not cool, it is what it is. You could go on about your life and don't have to deal with her or her weirdness of a baby daddy. Let them have each other and do whatever it is they're gonna do. But Bambi, like I said before, baby, you are next. It's only a matter of time before Erica flips on you. She already got you tied the hell up in the situation where you got a little charge on you that you're probably gonna be able to get dismissed at the end of the day, but you still got that charge on you. Okay. Now, when this clip started to surface about what Erica had to say about Sierra did come to social media and she had some things to say. This is what Sierra said. She says, "Girl, bye." Literally, she says, "You just mad because I spoke up and said you was wrong for calling Spice a black monkey and made the monkey sounds. You always had a complex about your lighter skin. Don't make me tell it." Now, see, Eric, I'm gonna have to call your card, because if you know your friend has always had this complex about her being the lighter skinned friend, why did you try to downplay at any point what Spice was saying and trying to downplay what Erica was saying? You know what I'm saying? Or downplaying what Erica was saying based on what Spice told you. Like, I don't know if she did that. I don't believe she did. Whatever it was, like, you already know this the type of friend that you got. But you still was over there willing to ride with her and see how stupid you make yourself look. Even though you trying to drag her in this moment, it's not making you look good right now. All right. She says, and I was always on your ass because I loved you. She says, bye. And again, nobody don't want no ticking time bomb at Safari. We literally watched you go from 160 pounds to 99. And we had to nurture you back to life when he cheated on you. Okay. I didn't want to break your heart again, girl. That's what you're not focused on. That's what I'm focused on. All right. Then she goes on to say, and another thing, girl, F you. You knew you blindsided me, lying ass girl. And y'all will see when Love and Hip Hop come on how she did Zell when they got locked up using her lighter skin privilege. Woo! Talking about she a black girl on her mug shot. Bitch, please. You wanna be. And here's the other part. Renee Rucci also came in to the defense of Sierra and said, please be mad at the man, then be mad at the friend that told her not to tell you. Come on, Renee. I have to agree. Be mad at your raggedy nigga. Be mad at Safari, the man who you continue to go back to and bounce on. And that's my problem with Erica. You don't really hold him accountable. You thought divorcing him was doing something, and it didn't do nothing. If anything, you hurt your own feelings because you still wanted him even after divorcing him. And this man still was being exactly who the hell he was before, during, and after the marriage. Okay. And you over here want to get mad at all the other ladies and fight all the other ladies because he's caring about them and he's showing them off more than he did for you or whatever the case is. And you pressed about it. But at the end of the day, be mad at that Nika. Okay, that's who you need to be mad at. So I'm so here for Renee Rucci. She says, please be mad at that man, then be mad at the friend that told her not to tell you, hey, Bambi, how are you? Because that's who she talking about. Then says, like, come on, let's wrap this up. That girl don't want your baby daddy. Period. She don't. And you over here being mad at everybody. And now you found out that Bambi knew the whole time, but you decide to not be friends with Sierra, but still be friends with Bambi. And the whole time, Bambi ain't saying nothing. But y'all was over there. And that's so funny to me. Because Bambi, just like Sierra said that ain't nobody like sticking up or had her back or anything like that. It's so funny that y'all was over there running up on her baby daddy and stuff on her behalf, although y'all was doing too much and although she didn't ask y'all to, but she's not stepping in to say anything to support either one of her friends. She not even saying something like, I hope that we can all work this out, or she ain't saying that. She being real quiet. And if I was Sierra, I definitely would be hurt by Bambi because it's like, I rolled for you too. But I see what we're doing here because now you choosing Erica over me. But that's okay because you next. And it's just whatever it is, it's just what it is. Okay. She next. All right. Now, this part, I want to get into the whole Spice situation, how that whole situation came about, how Erica ended up going in to call this woman out her name and all of that. Okay. And how she says she regrets it. She's learning from it and she's apologizing or whatever. So let's just check out the BS that Miss Erica had. Okay. So sit tight, hold tight. It might be a little minute. Let's check it out.
The elephant in the room is the monkey comment with Spice. And what we saw were the two of you with Shakana at a restaurant. You leaned in, tried to give her a kiss. She rejected it a little bit. Y'all sit down. Words started to fly. She made a comment about your son doesn't like you. And your face was gone. When you talk about how that relationship with Safari sucked the life out of you, I think we all saw how that comment sucked the life out of you to the point where it appeared that you weren't there anymore. And you know, you lift this table and you charge at her, and in the midst of that, you refer to her as a monkey.
Outside.
Explain to us what was going on in that moment.
There's a lot that happened inside that establishment that wasn't edited out. So when I flipped the table up, Spice got up and fell flat on her face because of all the food. Next thing you know, security, all of that stuff, mayhem comes, I get on one of the couches and I start throwing shit at her. I wasn't done. So eventually they take me outside. Okay. I'm outside at first, talking with producers. Why she keep coming for my son? Next thing you know, she comes to the window where I'm standing at and is lifting up the blinds, banging on the window. Next thing you know, I see her, she putting her ass in the window. So between the banging and her putting her ass, right then and there, I'm like, oh, this bitch is taunting me. After what she just said, she's taunting me. And she's still yelling, because that's why I guess I answered her. That's why I guess. And the only reason why I heard that is because as this is going on, the door of the establishment, this is where she's standing. I'm standing here, and there's a door. So the door of the establishment keeps coming out because of cameras, you know, and people in security that are trying to balance out what's inside. So I hear her inside yelling, "Your son hits you. That's why your son hit you," while she's banging on the window, throwing her ass up. And honestly, it wasn't anything but her banging on the window and her putting her ass reminded me of that in that moment. How to raise an individual. Her, the way she's bantering me from inside, putting her ass and banging. So what do you think? Like, you're an animal. Was it the wrong choice of animal? Yes.
Yeah, because you could have just said, but you acting like an animal. You could have called her a clown, but you didn't. And I feel like based on Spice's look, you intentionally labeled her as monkey. And that might be a part of your vocabulary, which I believe that it is based on you labeling other people like that in the past. But in that moment, I think you knew exactly what you were doing. And you intended to use that exact word because you knew how it was going to hurt her, especially her being a woman that has talked about colorism and stuff when it comes to the show. And you looking up to her, admiring her, like you should know all of this stuff. So, I mean, you knew exactly what you were doing. And you did it with intent. So that's just where we at.
But in that moment, I felt completely violated by a woman that I really respected. I respected Spice so much. She actually came on Atlanta around the same time as me. I related to her because of how we hustle and bustle.
And no, the fuck she didn't. I could have sworn you've been on here way before she came, but okay.
And our babies, we got to sacrifice so much time away from them to do that. It's a common story me and her have. It's something I've always related to her with from the time I met her. You know, like I thought it was always so great, especially because I've been there. You're flying, like, your kid's in Jamaica doing this, and you're flying here, like the way I used to do from New York, to provide and start a new life, a new chapter. And, you know, so it was very relatable to me, which is why, regardless of what we were going to sit down and talk about, I gave her that respect and giving her, and I like respecting her. Anybody I respect, I love, I always give kisses. It's just so.
I want to like Erica again, but she's full of shit, y'all.
Is that when I first found out about Spice being in the hospital, I found out from really good friends of mine that live in Jamaica. And for a while, like when I first found out, I received the message. I'm like, what's going on? Now, obviously, no one knows that she's in DR or anything like that. So it was something I'm new to. I'm like, what's going on? Da, da, da. So I start calling Cardi Red. She doesn't pick up. Next thing you know, I call Sierra and Bambi, and we're on 3 a.m. I'm like, yo, I just heard something's not good with Spice, blah, 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 blah. But I say all that to say, in that moment, when she mentioned
she working up the tears, I'm sorry.
I was so thrown off. Because just months prior, when I found out about her and her situation, you know what was the first thing I thought about? Do you want to guess?
Her kids?
Her kids. God forbid something happens to her kids. That's something I think about for my own. So it's just so to me. Here's this woman that's attacking me for the same things that we're so common about. At the same time, it's like, I just thought about her kids and like, God forbid, like what happens knowing she's a provider, knowing that that's all they have.
Let me say this.
God
As
forbid
much
something
as
really happens.
as much as I don't want to really believe Erica, she had no reason to beef with Spice at the time that Spice was going through her medical situation. So she very well honestly could have felt like this and thought about her kids. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's still a sensitive spot for her. So if that's how she felt, I can't really say that she didn't really, because she had no reason to beef with the lady. So maybe it's sending her back to that space.
That woman, it's her kids. But I know the information, well, the person that made her feel comfortable enough to even speak on it, you know what I'm saying? Should have never made you feel that comfortable, especially coming from a man that you know is just as bad as your baby daddy. Probably worse. Spice doesn't have the healthiest relationship with her kid's father, just like I don't have mine. So you're taking information from somebody that you know has been dog walking me and now wants to change the narrative on something he created for himself. So, you know.
But also you contributed to that too, because you like to over exaggerate situations as well. You definitely do that. So obviously something you were doing was making her not believe your ass either. Okay, so when Safari dropped those receipts, it did seem more believable than what the fuck you was over there talking about. Because you wasn't showing no receipts. You was just over there complaining and whining like you always do, but then everybody know that you still over there hopping on his dick. So
she's calling him, telling him, oh, she's saying you're not paying child support and this, that, and the third. And oh, well, that's why her son don't like her. So whatever. And right then and there is when I realized, oh, you're using Safari's information or whatever. I instantly knew. But my whole point is you're using information from a man that you know is no secret not to be really be trusted and is manipulative and whatever, just like your kid's father. So you're using this information to attack me, but here I am like in the same boat as you. We are so similar. The only difference is the obvious, but everything else, we're very much the same as far as mothering. And that's why too, it pisses me off when she says she didn't come from my kid, she came from my parenting. Who the f are you to comfort either? Because I'm sure you're not nobody can say they're the perfect mother. There's no way in the world. There's no
I have to agree with that, because I ain't gonna lie, I just be like, girl, your kid, I know your kids may love you, bitch, but I'm sure they tired of being in Jamaica. Like, girl.
Look, for being a mother, for anyone to say that. But I just found that to be so ironic and full circle. Like, I thought about her kids in such a like crazy moment, and here I am trying to clarify, because that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to clarify this fabricated story that Safari told her and give my side to it. If you feel however you feel after you hear my side, so be it. At least I told you what it was. So if you need backstory, Safari had told Spice in voice messages. Now, this was done on camera, but wasn't aired. Sierra, Bambi were all in the scene at Carly Red's baby shower for her daughter. And Spice is playing voice notes of Safari telling her how when I told him about her and her situation, that he started crying. And I was upset that he started crying and I started breaking things all over the house. I was upset, according to him. You know that shit ain't. First of all, Safari crying for someone other than himself? Show me Safari crying for someone other than himself if he's not on TV faking. Because we've seen him cry before, and that was. So I just wanted to clarify what the happened. And what really happened was simple. I told him what happened. He made a kick comment. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do with myself if something happened to Spice. I said, well, damn, I was your wife and you didn't do a thing. You didn't even flinch. That was my initial, but it's also organic to kind of like, here you are, and you should feel whatever, because I felt whatever, but you're telling that to the wrong person, first of all. I'm still going through, and you're going to tell me you don't know what to do with yourself if something happened to a woman, but yet I was just in the hospital, so was your son, and you were on a full-blown vacation. So without even getting too crazy, that's really what happened. But he told her that I literally was going nuts because he was crying over her. So and that I was saying all types of crazy, and that I didn't like her and all this stuff. Now, this is voice notes that a grown man is sending another woman about his baby mother, ex-wife. So you're starting, not only do you pillow talk to your broads about your ex-wife, baby mother, but you're also gossiping to her coworkers and causing conflict. That's what led us to have that.
I do believe that.
Because I felt it was important, because Spice was really believing Safari's story. And I was just like, wait a minute, like, girl, I was hysterically crying for you. Like, I love you. Like, up until that point, yeah, I had so much love for Spice.
But I also believe a little bit of what Safari's saying. I feel like y'all both probably cap. I think you did show your it's just a little bit that he was over there talking about what all he would have done for Spice or whatever. Like I would lose my mind if Spice, if this happened and that happened, and with your situation, he wasn't very present. So yeah, you still sensitive about that. I think you probably did go to hell off on that man. For real. He could have over exaggerated it a bit, but I do kind of think that it happened. But I also agree with you that he was being messy as fuck. Definitely creating turmoil on your end when it comes to work, but also trying to get more people on his side to believe him.
Still do.
Be team
So
him.
when you said a monkey comment, obviously you do not realize that.
I'm glad that Carlos went back to the monkey thing because I feel like she was kind of like trying to get past that and focus on Safari. So I'm glad he kind of brought it back. Like, this is why we're here. Okay. This is what I'm really asking you about.
That word is considered to be a racial slur when it comes to the description of Black people. Even naming animals after us, right? Because what I want to talk to you about too is a lot of people are split on this, right? Some people say, no, she knew what she was doing. She's a smart girl. She knows that. Calling a Black person monkey is a racial slur. A lot of people are also saying, no, you come for my kid. I'm coming for you back. All bets are off. Look, I'm a Black person. And one thing that I did want to talk to you about is the fact that when it comes to that word, I really am curious in terms of, did you have any idea that that word was considered a racial slur? Because what people have discovered is your usage of it in the past.
It's been used by me, but not because I meant it in anything racial. It's just, I don't even want to say the wrong thing because I know how sensitive this is. And I want people to understand that even if I don't have the right words to explain it, I do know the damage. And I'm more remorseful about that because it's like, at the end of the day, I've been on this platform for so long. Mostly because how relatable I've been, regardless if people like me or my antics or whatever, or what I come with. Or I'm so used to being loved one week, hate another week.
That's literally how it goes.
The viewers, the
with
people
her,
who've been in tune to my life for so long. Those are the people that I'm really genuinely concerned with as far as making amends with. Cast members and all that stuff that's falling in line because it's story and producers were told.
And I really want to like Erica again because I used to love me some Erica Mena. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, she has truly gotten on my nerves since she and Safari have been going through this divorce, and I really want her to move past it. And then for her to do this situation with Spice, it just makes me so disappointed in her. And it's really the lack of accountability to me because it's one thing to say that you accept all accountability, but you actually don't. And we'll get into exactly why she doesn't in just a second.
Told them afterwards and all that stuff. Not so much because they're just in it for an NDA and the check, which we all saw happen at the table. But the people who genuinely are watching me every week that love and hate me, those are the ones I feel like are more important than anything. Because without them, there isn't this. And I do feel, and I know I disappointed a lot of people.
Don't cry, girl.
I don't think I can.
She's trying
there
to
aren't
force
real
them
words that I can put together to explain why I've said it in the past.
But you do see why people feel like you say it to these Black people.
It's just a coincidence, but it's not that. And that's why I'm like, because it just so happens to be a coincidence that it is. But I've definitely called my sister a monkey before. And, it's a word that I use to insult someone or be playful. Never with intention of being racial or that. Like I'm raised in my family alone. I'm blended, there's not a racial bone in my body. Now that it's out there, it has me very mindful. Like, obviously I cannot ever say this ever again.
Let me ask you this, and I'm gonna cut you off because I want to have this conversation with you because I really want to understand the backstory too. So when you would say in the past, no one would ever check you on, because one thing I will say about is this, as a Black person, and I'm very honest when it comes to I'm not perfect. Do I use an N-word? Yeah. With that being said, I'm Black. I feel like we own it. Be very real with you. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and I moved to New York in my early 20s. And obviously New York's a big melting pot, of different cultures, Caribbean cultures, all that. And I remember seeing a large group of Latin men and women use it. And it was so jarring to me.
They
and
do.
one day J-Lo used it in a song, and then she said, well, John Rue wrote it for
Yeah.
me, but I would never say anything to hurt the Black community. But I always feel like when you're faced with something of that magnitude, do you have people around you who's like, look, girl, I know you didn't mean it that way, but it's offensive. Just like I had to teach men in my family, like, you can't say, like, you know, you can't say, and they're like, why? I'm like, because it's a gay slur. I'm gay.
That's what makes this whole thing very complicated and tricky. And that's why it's like, at the end of the day, I can't justify anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to take accountability. And I just want people to know now,
She
more
wants
than
to take
ever,
accountability.
the state of being mindful and more aware of the things I say and do is officially solidified in my life. Especially because out of all the things that I've done in Love and Hip Hop, this right here has been the biggest backlash I've ever gotten. And it doesn't even matter how I feel anymore or ever. It matters my supporters and what they feel, and the viewers and what they feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's who I want to apologize to those people that found it offensive. And
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And this is where the lack of accountability, you can't say you accept accountability, but then lack it at the same time. In my personal, because I feel like who deserves an apology is Spice. And that's who you have yet to give an apology to. You think giving an apology to us is going to make you be more in favor of us. And you can't say that us matter so much to you, the ones that love and the ones that hate you on and off every other week. You can't say that if you're not listening to what we're saying, because a lot of us have asked you to apologize to Spice. Now, if y'all have seen it, let me know when she apologized, because I have not seen her apologize directly to Spice. Okay. That's who you originally harmed. And maybe she would apologize to you for anything that she may have said that she shouldn't have said to you as well. But with this, don't be trying to come to us and try to be soft spoken with this damn interview and get the waterworks and stuff going and then want to sit up here talking about some damn, I want to take accountability and apologize to those people that support me, that are my fans, that's pretty much gonna elevate me to the next job, basically. Okay, you need to go back, you need to apologize to that woman.
and I want to really clarify. And I wish I had the words, because I've been sitting on this for this moment. Like, how do I explain this? There is no way, but just, I fucked up. Have I fucked up before? Yes. Will this fuck help me prevent fuck like this again? Absolutely. But I'm not racist. And I'm not a colorist. And I'm sorry to the people who I offended.
Girl, you need to apologize to Spice.
I don't want this fuck up
To what?
to make people feel any differently about me because of this. You know, like, especially people who have been rooting for me all this time, and then this happened and now they feel some type of way. Those are the people that
What would you like to say to the Black community?
Girl, I was
Because
one of
there's
them
a-
people.
You know, there's a large percentage of people in the Black community who feel this way, Erica. They feel like when it comes to some Latin women, it's
I don't care nothing about that part of the conversation, but I just wanted to highlight what she had to say about the Spice situation and whether she's apologizing, taking accountability and stuff. But for me, it's like that's gonna work on some people and that's fine. But it would be nice to see you apologize directly to Spice. Okay, that's who I feel like hurt the most from what it is that you said, especially for a person you feel like you looked up to so much and all this other stuff or whatever like that. And what be killing me too is how you continue to let Safari, who you already know how he is, get in the middle of a lot of your shit. You know what I'm saying? But you know, girl, we'll let you do whatever it is that you do, honey. That's all that I have at this time. Okay. I wanted to come to y'all real quick, give y'all the latest update when it comes to Love and Hip Hop. Erica Mena, her friendship with Sierra, and her sit down with Carlos King and where she stands with Spice, which is nowhere. She pretty much gave us the entire rundown. And she is not apologizing to Spice, but she's apologizing to the fans. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about everything Miss Erica had to say. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.